Nick, what's your role here today?
Basically, I'm leading this project, a Soundscape project, and with the students we're developing a soundscape, which is basically kind of an electronic piece of music, which is kind of creates an atmosphere, which is going to be used in Purfleet at the High House around the production park. This is to do with more kind of field recording stuff, so the idea is that we're using very natural sounds like sounds of the river. We're using kind of audio samples of local residents talking about the history of the area and their involvement in the project, and then we're kind of collecting all these sounds that relate to both the project and the opera itself, and then just kind of making this sound collage which we're going to play around the area on the days of the performance, so that the audience walk around the space and they're kind of hearing all these sounds that relate to the opera and hearing locals talk about the area and just kind of really create a mood. And
And how do students do?
they're doing well, yeah. They've each week kind of been producing more stuff, and they've been out recording. They've been down to Grays Beach recording the river, and yeah, it's all sort of sounding good. Yet to hear what they've done this week, but I'm sure it'll be great.
Because they get all the sounds, they're going to come here.
Yeah.
And what's the most difficult part, most challenging part of the whole process?
I think actually knowing what to do with the sounds, because it's not like creating music in the normal sense where you're dealing with notes and harmony and rhythm. It's all about kind of arranging sounds and thinking about foregrounds and backgrounds and having kind of a sound landscape, and when sounds come in, where they're going to come in, what they're going to do, and it's a lot freer than doing normal kind of pieces of music. So it's a kind of new approach to making music, I guess, which is tricky.
Lewis, I'm going to ask you a sort of school type question, but what have you learned so far?
We've learned sort of more how to use software in the industry, how to control sort of sound manipulation, how to more sort of like create sounds used for stuff in industry, really, like how to use industry standard mixing desks and things like that, and what would happen when you're mixing and mastering real music, as well as creating things like soundscapes and manipulating audio for sound effects purposes like that.
Had you heard of the term soundscape before you did this?
Well, I'd worked with soundscapes before, but not on this level, just sort of very, very briefly. But this has been sort of a new experience, really, trying to sort of know what the soundscapes are, how to mix the soundscapes, and how to get the soundscapes sort of to create sort of environment, if you know what I mean, sort of.
Because it's not just instrumental music, so to
No, it's based more on sound effects and real recorded sounds of things like what we're doing here with the river, and obviously sounds obtained from the internet, like for things such as from the World War I and the Zeppelins, and mixing that all into one big sort of soundscape, mixing it, putting effects on it, sort of create a sort of strange effect with the speakers that are going to be around the park, sort of give it a nice sort of mixed sound where you don't really quite know what's going on.
And does this fit in with your course, so to speak?
Yeah, a lot of skills I've had to use in this sort of soundscape project I've picked up over the 2 years that I've been here. I mean, when I came here, I didn't really have a clue how to use Cubase, which is one of the main softwares we're using. But once we'd finished the course, I knew how to use it, and I could therefore create the soundscapes with quite ease. I knew what I was doing with the effects and that. And